What is good, guys? Matt from the Wrestling Fellas YouTube channel, and I'm here today to talk about some news, updates and stuff, because John's away in New York. We have got a video coming out on Saturday, which was recorded last week, and then we've got a couple of Matt v Johns coming out in between as well. So this is just a little news update kind of thing, and my thoughts on what's been going down since the last time we spoke. So let's go. So we'll start off with WWE 2K24. Now, WWE 2K24 is out on the 5th of March. If you've pre-ordered it early, if not, it's the 8th of March. I'm excited. I've spoke about it numerous times on the videos of what we post. I really like the 2K games. They get a bit boring towards the end. But the GM mode is something that I've always been playing since it returned in 2022. So 2K24 has been announced. A handful of new superstars have joined from NXT, Raw and SmackDown. They've just announced the DLC. We're going to go through the DLC and my thoughts on each DLC pack. So obviously, we all knew the original DLC pack, the first one you get with the Wrestlemania, 40 Years of Wrestlemania edition, included Cody Rhodes' Elite My Faction figure, playable character, Undashing Cody Rhodes, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, Stardust, and superstar Billy Graham as well. Then you got the WrestleMania outfits for Charlotte Flair, Macho Man or the Macho King Randy Savage, Rey Mysterio from WrestleMania 22 when he won the world title, Rhea Ripley from WrestleMania 36 with the white gear she wore in the WrestleMania that was in front of no one during COVID, and then Triple H at WrestleMania 30 as well. Plus, you also get Bianca Belair, the 2017 gear when she was in, and was that NXT? It was NXT year, and Rhea Ripley when she started out as well. Then we get to the actual DLC packs, the ones that are coming out monthly. So then we've got the ECW Punk pack, and that includes the Dudley Boys, Sandman, CM Punk, Terry Funk. Plus you get a My Faction content of ECW Paul Heyman manager card and superstar cards for all people that are in that pack. The usual shtick that we got last year. Feelings towards it, I'm not too, and people are going to come at me, I'm not too bothered about Terry Funk. I'm not. It'd be cool to have him and Mick Foley maybe in a hardcore match on the ECW arena, especially if you're doing GM or Universe mode with ECW in it. It's great to have him in it. Sandman, great new addition, nice addition. Not seen Sandman, I think, since 2008. Could be wrong, could be 2009, but that's the last time Sandman was in there. Dudley Boys, we all love the Dudley Boys, one of the greatest and most decorated WWE tag teams, or tag teams in general, in history. And then CM Punk, who I'm very surprised to see this early in the DLC. I thought it'd be later on down the road. Obviously, they made it in, managed to get him in it. I'm excited about that pack. The Dudley Boys and CM Punk more than... It'd be cool to see Sandman. He's probably not going to have the Metallica theme. Probably going to be his generic WWE theme. And Terry Funk's a nice addition to GM mode. I'm hoping he's a bit cheap on there compared to what last year's prices were. And then you get the Post Malone and Friends pack. This is a bit of a weird pack, to say the least. This comes out June 26th. So you get Post Malone. He's done the music for the game, which really needs to be questioned because it's not great. Jimmy Hart, Honky Tonk Man, Sensational Sherry is a playable character. And then Mosh and Thrasher. Now, we know the Headbangers, Steve Blackman and Ken Shamrock have all signed contracts. Ken Shamrock's back in the game, on the main game. Have all signed Legends contracts recently as well, the Dudley Boys. So it's not a surprise to see Mosh and Thrasher in there. I thought they'd do like an Attitude Era pack. That'd be cool. Mosh and Thrasher, Shamrock, Steve Blackman, Al Snow kind of thing. I know obviously rights to Al Snow and stuff is harder, but it'd be cool to see that kind of pack. Plus, it helps with ECW with Al Snow as well. And then you get the Superstar cards with that. Then you've got on July 24th, you've got the Pat McAfee pack. At the moment, all we know it's Pat, which I'm really excited about. I love Pat, a commentator and wrestler. I think he's really exciting in the ring. His commentary skills is absolutely phenomenal, and him and Michael Cole are perfect for each other. Also, Corey Graves there adds a different dynamic to it, which we'll probably see at WrestleMania. But that's all we know that's in there. It says playable co-hosts. More info to be announced. What that means, I don't know, but it's interesting. Then we got the Global Superstars pack on September 20th. Carlito, Dragon Lee, Jade Cargill, Kairi Sane, Lyra Valkyrie, Michelle McCool, and Nia Jax. You can imagine how excited I am. Jade Cargill, she was in AEW Fight Forever. Game wasn't great. We all thought she'd probably make it. She's been signed since she left AEW. Literally, I think it was 2 weeks later, she announced that she was WWE announced that they signed her. Dragon Lee should be in the normal game. He's been there for over a year now, so he should be in the game altogether. We shouldn't have to wait. Same with Nia. Nia, literally, she was in 22. She wasn't in 23. Then she's in this one. Her model should still be in the game. Why is it just not easy just to change her music and put her in it? Because she's the same person. Her moves haven't changed. Why is it so difficult to get an updated character model? Lyra Valkyrie, again, been there for a while now. Why is she not in the game already? I know they're trying to hold out for DLC, but you could use these DLC packs for Attitude Era pack, Ruthless Aggression Era pack, Golden Era pack, PG Era. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are going to moan that the Bellas aren't on it. Obviously, Bellas are not signed up to a Legends contract anymore. Kairi Sane, great to see Kairi Sane back into the game. Her and Asuka as a tag team, or just her on her own, should be great. I really want her to have the Pirate Princess one as well that she had in NXT. We'll see. Carlito has been signed since June. Don't know why he's not in the game. Obviously, it's a new model because it was THQ, now it's 2K. So I kind of understand that. And Michelle McCool's the same. She's not been in the game since, I think, 2012 or something like that. So it's cool to see Michelle McCool back into a WWE game as well. Legend. She's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame with her being there, in my point of view. Then you've got the WCW pack. Again, 4 of these people have already been in games. WWE games, so I don't understand why we got a pack for it, but we have. The DDP, Lex Luger, Mr. Perfect, The Great Muta, and Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik, Mr. Perfect, Lex Luger, and DDP have all been in games. Why are they DLC? We've got to wait till November for that. Now, I think what they've done is spread it out, because we don't get one in August, which I can only presume we're going to have a big update on that. And we don't have one in July. Yes, we do. Sorry. We have May, June, July, September, and then November. So we miss a couple of months out there where I'm hoping they do an update kind of thing. We'll see. There's people missing, think should be in it. Obviously, it remains to be seen whether Brock is in the game. We know a couple of his matches on the Road to WrestleMania, on the WrestleMania show. I thought he has a WrestleMania Showcase mode. We know there's a couple in it. Goldberg's not in it. His contract with WWE's ended and he doesn't want it. I don't think he wants to go back. And to be fair, I don't want Goldberg back. I don't play with him in WWE 2K23 or 22 or 20 for that matter. Don't really care about Goldberg. I was never a Goldberg fan, so it doesn't really bother me. People are complaining about Naomi, Andrade, AOP. Naomi's only just returned, and I know she was in 22, but she's only just returned. And they're going to do a full new scan of her, music, entrance. It's a bit hard to do that. Andrade, same. He's not been in WWE since, 2020? I think he got released 2021, went to AEW. So he's got a whole new persona. And trying to rebuild his character up. So there's no point putting him in right now because we don't know what he's going to be when he fully debuts on Raw. I know he's in a backstage segment with Dom just gone, but he's not actually debuted in the ring, so we don't, in a one-on-one match. He's been in the Royal Rumble, obviously. And AOP, again, got released in 2021, I think, 22. Happy they're back, but I'm not surprised to see him not in the game. People complaining about AJ Lee not being in it. AJ Lee's got stuff going on herself. That's why she never shown up at the Royal Rumble. Tori Wilson, I'm really not bothered about not seeing Tori Wilson. Doesn't bother me. With legends in the game, I don't really play as them. I like playing as the superstars there and now. So there's a people missing, but overall, I'm very happy with this year's lineup of superstars. DLC is a lot better than it has been the last few years. That's 2K. Next, we go to the WrestleMania card that's shaping up now. WrestleMania is my favourite time of the year. I say it all the time on videos. WrestleMania season is my favourite part of the year. Beats Christmas. It beats anything for me. I absolutely love WrestleMania. We have a few matches announced. Obviously, Elimination Chamber just gone. John's dropped a video. Go and watch that if you haven't already. It's his thoughts on Elimination Chamber. I'm going to do mine in a later video. It probably comes out next week. Probably a bit late, but it's going to drop next week. But we'll go through some of the matches that have been announced and the potential matches that we're going to see. So at the moment, we've got Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight title. We've got Bayley and Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. We've got Rhea and Becky for the Women's World Championship. And then we've got Roman and Cody for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Quality matches, can't wait for all four of them. I'm not going to go to who I think wins each. That's going to come in a prediction video towards WrestleMania. That comes out the night before WrestleMania. Potential matches we could see. It teased on Raw that Gunther's got multiple challenges for the Intercontinental Championship. Who is going to be in that match? You know, we've been saying for weeks, what John's been saying for weeks, it's probably going to be Judgment Day versus Miz and Truth. For the tag team titles at WrestleMania. It looks like it's not going to be that. It looks like it's probably going to be a bit of either a battle royal. I'm hoping it's a ladder match. Gunther, Chad Gable's throwing his hat into there. Truth's throwing his hat. Miz is probably going to throw his hat in there. Gargano or Ciampa both should, to be fair. I think it should be challengers that have challenged Gunther in the past. Obviously, bar people that are already in matches like Drew. Be cool to see Sheamus return, a mystery person that's in the match that hasn't been announced. It'd be cool if it was Sheamus and he comes out and wins it. So who's going? I would love it for it to be Jay, but Jay's another thing we're going to talk about in a minute. But it looks like it's going to be a multi-man match for the Intercontinental Championship. Moving on to Jay, we're also going to get Jimmy v Jay. A match I'm not really excited for. Not on Jay's side. I just think Jimmy hasn't got this aura about him that Jay has. Jay's got so much more potential, and he gives more on the mic and he gives more in his entrance. Jimmy, I know he's a heel and he's not supposed to do that, but when you look at the match, you just feel like Jay's going to win. You know Jay's going to win. Jay deserves so much this year. I'm hoping he gets the singles title. So then we move on to the SmackDown side of things. Logan Paul cost Randy Orton the match at Elimination Chamber. We all knew Drew was going to win it, but in terms of storyline, Logan Paul cost Randy Orton, so it looks like it's going to be Randy Orton versus Logan Paul for the US title. Not where I'd go with it. Personally, I'd want the US title against LA Knight and give LA Knight the US title, or Logan Paul, either one. I'm a bit iffy about it, I'm not going to lie. I don't know where we're going to go with it. We're probably going to have Randy and Logan for the US title. I want Logan to beat Randy. It'll mean more. Randy doesn't need a loss. It won't do anything to hurt him at a loss either. So, it'd be interesting to see where we go from there. AJ Styles got into the chamber and cost LA Knight his chance at the World Heavyweight Championship. So, we're obviously going to see LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And what happens with Dakota Kai? Dakota Kai, can Bayley trust Dakota Kai? Is that something that we're going to see a turn on SmackDown? Is it going to be a slow turn, or is Dakota Kai actually behind Bayley? Different dynamics there for Damage Control. What is going to happen? So there's different matches being set up. I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen with Judgment Day. Is Dom going to be in a match? Is Truth going to get his moment at WrestleMania that he deserves? Is Cody going to beat Roman? Where does Liv fit into the women's title? Is she facing Nia in a pointless match? We don't know. But it'd be interesting to see. I'm going to go into NXT. I'm not going to speak about every match. I'm just going to speak about the major talking points. There's a couple. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson defeated Malik Blade and Idris Enofi. I can never say that name. That's their first win in 8 months on WWE TV. So it was great to see Anderson and Gallows back on winning ways. It looks like they're going in for Corbin and Breaker. It would make sense for them to win, in a way. It gives Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows another tag team title they've won. Corbin can go to the main event scene, where Breaker can go to SmackDown and make a name for himself on SmackDown. I'd like it. Is it going to happen? I hope so. Stand and deliver. It's probably that's where it's going to go down at. But good for the Good Brothers. Happy for them. They got the win. Then we find out at Roadblock next week. It's going to be Joe Gacy versus Dijak in an Asylum match. Now, last time we saw an Asylum match, it was Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. It wasn't great. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't fantastic. But I've got good feelings about this. Dijak is just constantly putting on bangers. Joe Gacy, his character he plays, the guy that doesn't care that he gets beat up and he wants to get beat up and he wants to be abused. Like, I love the dynamic of that feud they've got going on NXT. So that should be fantastic, and I can't wait to see where that goes. So next week at Roadblock, Dijak, Gacy, Asylum match. It was also announced that Lara Valkyria and Tatum Paxley will face the Kabuki Warriors for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship next week on NXT Roadblock as well. Absolutely big match for them. Kabuki Warriors are going to win. I can see it happening. But it should be a quality match. You know, Lyra and even Tatum's a great wrestler. Asuka and Kairi, we know how good they are anyway. So it's a good dynamic to have in the ring. And then we got Ridge Holland in the ring talking about what's happened over the past couple of weeks with injuries and stuff, and he's apologising. And then the lights went out, and I thought, this is a bit weird. And then all of a sudden, the promo that we've been seeing with Free Faces and stuff, and everyone's thinking it's Okada or Bo Dallas. I thought it was Bo Dallas. Turns out it's Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears has returned to NXT as Shawn Spears, not Ty Dillinger. The crowd started chanting 10. Obviously, his 10 moniker. And Cody Rhodes referenced that as well on Twitter. He just put 10. It's great to see Shawn Spears back in NXT. Obviously, when he was in AEW and he was on TV weekend with Cody, I think it was Cody. I think John said he faced Cody right at the start. I didn't watch it then, so I don't know how good Shawn Spears was in AEW compared to his matches in NXT under Ty Dillinger. It's great that he's come back as Shawn Spears and not Ty. Obviously, the Ty Dillinger's gonna follow him. It's his old character. It's what he was doing. But I'm really looking forward to see what Shawn Spears does. I want him to go on to face Ilya Dragunov or Carmelo Hayes or Trick Williams, whoever's the NXT champ in a couple of months. I want him to get there and win it, kind of like Drew did and Adam Cole when they came in. They made a statement to win the NXT title. That's what I want from Shawn Spears. We've not had that. We've not had someone debut from another company in NXT and go, I want that title. That's what I want from Shawn Spears. That'll give him more of a serious name. People might disagree. That's totally fine. You can all disagree. You've all got your opinions, but my opinion, I'd love to see Shawn Spears as the NXT champ. And does this mean we're probably going to get Peyton Royce back? I know they've had a kid. Is Peyton Royce going to come back? Maybe them two could take over NXT. She could become the women's champ. Shawn becomes the NXT champ. Maybe. Hope so. Probably not, but it'd be cool. And then we had the NXT Heritage Cup match between Noam Dar and Charlie Dempsey. Quality match, absolute. Charlie Dempsey is going to be an absolute star. Noam Dar's great. We know how good Noam Dar is. If you've watched him in the indie scene over in the UK, he was incredible. NXT UK, he was great. Deserves a bit more than what he's getting. I keep saying it. They need to bring the Cruiserweight title back or something back in NXT to elevate certain stars that are struggling. NXT Heritage Cup, Charlie Dempsey won it. Great for him. It's great to see him do that. I've not really watched the Heritage Cup. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I don't really care about the Heritage Cup. I don't see it as a championship because it's not. In my eyes, obviously to WWE and other people it could be, but to me it's not. It's like soccer, football. It's like Champions League. It's not a championship. It's a cup. You win a cup at the end of it. It's the same thing. But yeah, I'd never really watched the matches. I've just really skipped past them because it never really interested me. But I watched this one. Didn't really understand it at first. But once I started watching it, I got what it was all about. But it was a quality match. Charlie Dempsey won. Happy for Charlie Dempsey. Hopefully he can go on and win the NXT North American Championship at some point as well. I'd love to see him up in the main event. Then we had the contract signing between Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov for Roadblock next week. I really thought they'd do this at Stand and Deliver, but I feel like they're going a different route for Stand and Deliver. It was all going to go ahead. Carmelo wasn't really saying much, and they were going to sign the contract, and then Tony D'Angelo came out, which I thought was really weird, but made sense in the end. Saying that, he wants a title shot, but he wants to earn it. Ilya was respectful of this and was like, yeah, do you know what? I like that you want to earn it. It's more than what Carmelo's did. Carmelo's just gone and took it, whereas you want to earn it. I think we should have a match next week on Roadblock, and the winner faces me at Stand and Deliver between Tony D'Angelo and Carmelo Hayes. We all know Trick's going to get involved next week. I think it's going to be a fatal four-way. Tony D'Angelo, Carmelo Hayes, Trick, and Ilya. The only person I don't want to win out of that would be Carmelo. And that's not because I don't like Carmelo, because I really like Carmelo. I want him on the main roster. I want him with Bobby Lashley's group. I feel like it should be Trick or Ilya. Tony, I don't have an issue with Tony. I don't like his character. I don't like the whole family thing. But it'd be cool if he wins it. Someone new, someone different in the main event. And then where does Ilya go? Is he the one to face Gunther the night after WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title? The only man that Gunther can't beat is Ilya Dragunov, so it'd be interesting. That was NXT. NXT was quality last night. If you've not watched it, go onto the WWE Network for $9.99. This isn't plugged. This isn't sponsored. Go and watch it. SmackDown Friday. It's going to be a massive SmackDown. The Rock's back. Obviously, Cody sent out a message at Elimination Chamber in Perth and said, Rock, I want you one-on-one before WrestleMania. I don't want to see it one-on-one. Nothing against Cody or The Rock. I don't want to see it one-on-one. I want a tag match, Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman on maybe a special edition of, I don't know, a network special, something, just before WrestleMania kind of thing. But that'd be cool. We also have Bayley and Dakota Kai versus Asuka and Kairi. I have a weird feeling Dakota's going to turn on Bayley. I said it before. What's Dakota going to do? Is she going to be with Bayley? Is she going to be against Bayley? We've got a street fight between Carlito and Santos Escobar. I think this is Carlito's second singles match since returning against Santos. Obviously, we're going to get an LWO versus... and that's it, guys. That is a bit of an update from myself on my feelings towards things. I just didn't want it to come to when we do a video next week, or the week after when we're back, because we've got a lot of recording coming up over the couple of weeks. We've got quizzes, we've got reactions, we've got tier lists, we've got our own commentary over certain WrestleMania matches, we've got our thoughts on 2K24, the end of Matt v John on 2K23, going into 2K24 GM mode. We've got so much coming up, but I'm always active on Twitter or /X, so please go on there and interact with me, talk to me. At Wrestling Fellas. We're also on Instagram, Wrestling_Fellas Pod, TikTok, Wrestling Fellas Pod, Facebook, Wrestling Fellas. Go and check us out on our socials. Interact with us, talk to us, discuss things with us. If you don't agree with what I said with anything like the 2K packs or Shawn Spears or Charlie Dempsey or anything like that, drop it in the comment section. Talk to me. Tell me about it. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when we drop a new video. And until then, guys, peace.